Morning, everybody. It's Friday, August 27th, and this is a personal message to all of you out there who have not yet been vaccinated for COVID. In 1954, during the polio pandemic, I got polio. I was 8 years old, and I was not vaccinated. I ended up spending 4 months in Holiday Park Hospital in Portland, which is over by Lloyd Center. During that pandemic, the hospital had been converted exclusively to polio patients. I almost ended up in an iron lung, similar to being put on a ventilator during COVID. That pretty much would have been a death sentence for me, just as being put on a ventilator now is pretty much a death sentence. There was no visitation at the hospital, much is the same thing going on now with COVID. My family could not visit. My mother would come every day and stand across the street and wave at me, and the nurses would push my hospital bed up to the window so that I could see her. I was in physical therapy and struggled in school for years after being in the hospital. It's what we call today being a long hauler with COVID. When I did get vaccinated in school, they vaccinated the entire class by the school nurse, and there was no one that turned down the vaccine. We knew we were in a fight to eradicate polio, and we were going to do it. And in the 1950s, we vaccinated virtually 100% of the population in the United States. And we eradicated polio, not only here, but throughout the world. And as you know, we are still vaccinated today for polio to keep it under control. Now we're in another fight to deal with the COVID pandemic. And frankly, we're losing. Everything we have tried so far in the last year and a half has failed. Lockdowns, shutting down our restaurants and bars, shutting down our short-term rentals, putting on masks, then not having to wear masks again, and now we're back to wearing masks again. The only weapon we have that is working is vaccinations. Those of us that have been vaccinated here in the community are now watching those of our friends and neighbors that have not been vaccinated getting sick and dying in increasing numbers every day as this virus surges to its highest levels. So my message here today is I'm asking everyone, go out and get yourself and your families vaccinated if you haven't done so yet. We need to get this as close to 100% as we did with polio so that we can eradicate COVID and get back to our lives. So stay calm, stay safe, stay home, and please get vaccinated.